this ride, you might get wet. Warning, you might laugh so hard your cheeks will sweat. With Ben and Skin, homegrown homeboys from Richardson, they're gonna soak ya. Woo! Robin Dog Dog, it's the Super Soaker.
Here are your hosts for the Super Soaker, Ben and Skin. Ooh, soaked.
Warning, if you had this right.
Oh, a double intro. Let's go. It is time once again for the Super Soaker. Good morning, Ben. How are you?
Hey, good morning. How are you? I'm doing
great.
good.
Man, I'm wearing a pink hat, and we will talk about that later in the show. There's a very important reason I'm wearing a pink hat. Also, would you mind taking a sip of your coffee right quick? I want to watch something. Take a sip of that. There's Ben. Is that half calf, decaf, full calf?
Full leaded.
All right. Can I see the other side of that coffee cup? Is there an insignia on it or anything?
No.
Okay. So it's just I'm colorblind. Is that green?
Yeah.
Okay. I would now like to take a sip of my coffee. And as you know, I am right-handed. So are coffee cups designed for left-handed people, or are they designed for you to see the logo or the design on it? Because here I am now drinking coffee left-handed.
Okay.
You see there,
Yeah.
Papa Bear. But if you're doing a Super Soaker and you're drinking coffee with your normal hand, people can't see the logo. And I never realized that till right now. I was like, okay, if I would assume a vast majority of people are right-handed, is there such a thing as a left-handed coffee cup? These are the things I think about right before we soak everybody with our live stream.
Okay.
Has your life been changed?
Not as much as you might think it might have been.
Been changed. Okay, we have an action-packed show today, and we're breaking records and setting new ground because this is episode 4 of the Soaker, and this will be the first time that we've had a live guest join in. So coming up here in 10 minutes, Dan Hunt, the man that is everything FC Dallas. He's, of course, part of the legendary Hunt family and the Kansas City Chiefs, but he's going to join us live in 10 minutes. And they had a really big announcement for FC Dallas, and we're excited for him because it impacts us and all this stuff. So we're looking forward to have Dan on live. And Dan's always a great guest whenever we have him on.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's one of the billionaire sports owners that just seems real. He kind of just seems like one of us. He's just filthy rich, but he's a great normal dude. He's not weird in any way, which, you know, I guess if you're Dan Hunt, you're like, hey, that's a strange compliment. But I've been around a lot of wealthy people that are straight up weird.
Yeah, I think I told you I'm almost done with it. I was reading that book, King of Diamonds, about the jewel thief in Dallas in the 50s and 60s. And so it's basically just a roll call of all the, like Dan's aunt is prominent in the book, for example. And so it's like a roll call of how all these people got their money and all this kind of crap. And so if you grew up with money, I think it's very likely you're going to be weird. I think exactly what you're talking about. You live in a strange existence that 95% of the world does not live in. And that's why I think people always felt like Cuban was one of them, because he was later billionaire guy. He didn't grow up with money. But like, yeah, if you grow up in money world, it's a strange world, man. So we're excited to have Dan on because he's actually a normal dude. See, that is coming up in 8 minutes. Now that means, Ben, that we have time before we have Dan on to show people a special video that TC Fleming has produced for us. Tell everybody what we're about to bestow upon them.
So this weekend was the Dirk Nowitzki charity tennis event brought to you by Chime, the Dirk Nowitzki Foundation, all proceeds benefiting that, Dirk's charity. And so it was Dirk and Steve Nash and JJ Barea and Clay Thompson and Dr. Phil, Coco Vandeweghe, Mark Knowles, Super Chef Bobby Flay. I don't know.
It was too much.
Almost too much.
Much.
But It was awesome, and it was at T-Bar M, and they allowed us to be a part of it. They always do, which we're not worthy of that. And so we were like, hey, do you guys mind if we produce some video content to recap this event? And they were like, go for it. Go ahead. And so we got to interview all these people that were in it, and we grabbed a bunch of video, and the extremely talented, multi-purpose Swiss Army knife of all media, TC Fleming, produced this badass recap video for us. So we thought we'd air it in the Super Soaker.
Hit it.
Had it in years, so I know we can do something special.
Oh, so that's how he does it. Oh, hey, everybody, it's me, Sken. Ben is on the other side of this camera. I'll hand him. Oh, there he is right there. God, that was a good job. And we are at Dirk Nowitzki's Tennis Classic. This is so great. Dirk Nowitzki Foundation puts it on, like Chime is the title sponsor. But it's so much fun. The Dirk Nowitzki Foundation does it, and they allow me and the cameraman, show yourself again. Every year, they allow us to host this thing, and it's fun. Now, this year, it's different. In the past, it was at the SMU Tennis Center. This time, it's right here at T-Bar M, which has been around. It's a racket tennis club. It's been around forever, legendary spot. And then show this, Ben. Look at how cool this is. This year, it's going to be like one center court with people like Steve Nash and JJ Barea and, of course, Dirk. And the new guy this year is Klay Thompson. And look what Ben's showing over there. There's going to be a press conference over there shortly. And Ben, I think we have duties over there or something like that.
If we have duties, I'm unaware of what they are. So just like college, I will need to cram here at the last minute and learn about what our assignment is and try to get something done. But we're going to have a lot of fun here today, and we're going to capture it on video, and we will air it in our live stream, the Super Soaker. So if you're seeing this now, you're probably watching the Super Soaker. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Going to be a fun day.
Dirk plays at my house a lot, so we get a lot of tennis action. So doing it out here is just moving it to a good cause. Somebody took my racket. Over there.
You were a consultant working in Golden State, so you have a relationship with Klay. What do you think about Klay with the Mavericks?
Great pickup for the Mavs. First of all, just a world-class guy. A second Hall of Famer, like elite shooter. And I think we've seen the last season with the Warriors, he's still shooting at a great clip. Yeah. So for him to be paired with Luka and Kyrie and to space the floor and have gravity and make people make some really hard decisions, I think he's going to add a lot to the Mavs.
Did it feel weird that you got a bigger cheer than Dirk Nowitzki got at his own tennis event? Is that a sign that people are ready for you?
I think that was just a one-time thing. It was like a welcome home thing. And Dirk is such a legend in this city. He's the greatest to ever put a Mavs uni on, so it's cool to come out and support a great cause. What is that? Whoa!
We love to see how much trash talk there is between you and Dirk. Has it just always been that way?
Always, man. It's always been so cool. We never stopped. Before the game, in practice, traveling. Sometimes coach got mad at us, but I blame it on Dirk, and we're good to go.
Wait, he got mad because you guys talk too much to each other?
Yeah, especially Dirk. Coach is talking, and Dirk is always messing around. So I had to be like, yo, you got to say something to him first. And then talk to me.
You went to the I Feel Slovenia Night of the Dragon celebration in Europe. You and Dirk were there. Luka was there. But you actually got out there and played. How long had it been since you hooped?
I know, it's shocking. I haven't played since I retired, really, 10 years.
And so you're one of the greatest players in NBA history. When you stopped playing, did you?
Yeah. I don't know. I just didn't have the desire to play anymore. I loved playing when the stakes were high. Yeah. I was obsessed with it. I worked at my game every day. When it was over, I really wanted to try something else, So started playing my soccer again and then fell in love with tennis. So really, I play a ton of tennis now. Kind of gives me something to get better at, to focus on, something to compete at, community, all those things. So, I'm now a tennis junkie, but I don't really play hoops anymore. I think I wore that out playing until I was 40.
You were in doubles, but you were going against JJ Barea. He's a veteran of this, and JJ grew up playing tennis. What'd you think of his tennis game?
I think JJ was mad or something all the times I posted him up in his career. He was serving me bombs.
Yeah.
No, that's what he does. Okay, now you've only known me for about 2 minutes now. Just based on our interaction, do you have any advice for me, any kind of life advice about things I could do better or achieve more?
it seems to me like you got a pretty good gig going on.
Yeah.
You're showing up at fun things with fun people doing fun sort of activities. So I think you got a pretty good idea. I'd stay with what you're doing is my advice.
I know that you love water. Have you found any spots around town yet for you to get out and do a little boating or paddle boating or whatever it is that you're into?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when we used to play the Mavs, I'd always go to, I think it was White Rock Lake.
Yeah, man.
So I'll find some nice bodies of water, get my kayak out there, throw out some fishing lines, and there's nothing like being around the water. So I'm excited to explore the state, and it's a new part of the world for me. And with that comes new opportunities to just do new things. So I couldn't be more excited.
Would you put in a good word for me with Oprah? I might just go visit her in Maui.
I tell you what, next time I see her, I'll drop your name and see if it makes any ripples in the pond. How's that?
That is huge, man. I can't ask for more. Thank you, Dr. Phil. And thank you for being here. I know everybody appreciates
Well,
it.
thank you for covering this. It's great to get it out.
So you've been goofing off with me and Skin for many, many years now. When you think of the Ben and Skin show, what comes to mind? You just think, here's a couple of idiots, we're going to joke around a little bit?
Nah, I think you guys started a couple of idiots, and now you guys are all the way good now, you know what I'm saying? Nah, just good people, good friendship. I think it's going to last forever.
Awesome. You heard it there first. It's going to last forever.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Clay. How's about that, Benny Sana? That was really good stuff, man.
Man, TC is so talented. I love that, and I hope that we bring more pre-produced video content to the Super Soaker. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I think we will. Now, I want to comment on some of that Steve Nash stuff, but we can do it on the other side because we have a Super Soaker first. Let's see if we can execute this. Jason, our producer, Theory, are you able to add our live guest? Oh, it looks like it's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the man, the myth, the legend. He's all things FC Dallas and so much more. Dan Hunt, everybody.
Hey guys, how are you?
We're great, man. How are you doing? It's been a really eventful week for you.
Yes, it has. All this gray in my beard is exactly how eventful it's been.
Okay, so yesterday you guys made major headlines, huge renovations happening to your home field and stadium, Toyota Stadium. Help us understand the scope of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, look, City Council approved on Tuesday night a $182 million renovation to Toyota Stadium. And it was FISD, CDC, EDC. I mean, Frisco is an amazing place to do business. They get these public-private partnerships. You see what happened at the Star. You see what's happened at PGA. And look, it's apples and oranges. That's the best way I can describe it. If you didn't know our stadium, the only giveaway is the south end. It's going to stay the same. Otherwise, it is a brand new building. We're building a state-of-the-art soccer-specific stadium that I frankly would put up against any of the smaller ones anywhere in the world. And there's so many great things. But the big one would be the shade. I know that's going to be super popular.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a lot of questions about this, Dan. Now, you mentioned the South Side staying the same, and obviously that's where the Soccer Hall of Fame is, and that's what faces out to Main Street there, and it's incredible. But you guys have to play soccer there, and I would assume that when the World Cup comes, there's going to be teams from all over the world that might be using it as a practice facility, and there's so many things at play here. How are you guys going to renovate this stadium and then continue to play soccer the next few years?
Yeah, it's going to be an incredibly thoughtful process. It's sort of what we did at Arrowhead when we renovated that stadium. We kept the Chiefs playing there. We're going to start on the east side, those buildings there, and only have fans sitting on the west and south side. This is in January of 2020. We'll have seating for about 11,000 people, maybe a few more. And then we should finish that phase, and we're going to start working on the north side of the stadium. We're moving our supporters back to the north side of the stadium and putting in a couple thousand seats there. That's where the stage is. And once we're done on the east side, call it summer of 2025, we'll flip-flop, and we'll go to the west side of the stadium and knock down that entire building and build a brand new it's going to be so fantastic. The clubs that are going in that space, we're going to build 2 world-class clubs. We're going to go from 22 suites plus the super suites all the way to 57 suites on that side. And what's really cool is we're going to have 6,000 real club seats at the stadium. And the west side should be done December 2027, January 2028. And you're right, World Cup teams are coming. That's still we're one of the top venues for base camp training centers, and the goal is to get the top seed in the South. That's how this works, which is based on where you are in global seeding. And we want to get the top seed to pick Toyota Stadium and Soccer Center. Look, Dallas should get 3 or 4 teams. I hope we get Fair Park, SMU, MoneyGram Soccer Park. I hope we get a couple. This is a great city, and you guys know how I feel about it from the World Cup bid.
Yeah, it's incredibly exciting. And I saw other pictures circulating of other developments around the stadium. The stadium itself is exquisite. Is all of that, future down the road, other things that are happening, or is that all a part of this?
Yeah, no, it's going to be separate. Financially, it's separate. But then I'm going to spend my brother's half of the money as fast as I can on the development around. And we're going to put in a hotel. That will be the first thing that goes up. And I'm hopeful that, that project maybe starts in 2025. Which will be great. It'll be a really nice hotel. And then we're going to build a residential tower adjacent to that. And on that east side, we're going to do 30,000 square feet of retail, restaurant. We bring this to life. And then on the west side, we're going to build 1.2 million square feet of Class A office space. And so all we need is for the Fed to continue to cut interest rates to make that work. So go, baby, go.
That's right. I think we're all sitting there going, I lower the interest rates. I have a house to sell. I got buildings to build. Okay, yeah, this is very exciting. And, Ben and I know that area really well because we're going to be bringing Rollertown over there. And one of the things that when we talk to people with Frisco, something that's very important to them is, the old rail district and the old rail yard and the railroad that goes through there. And so it's when I look at this and I read about it and hear all the things that's going on, it's almost like the downtown version of the Star in a lot of ways. And that development over there where the Cowboys have their headquarters, the difference is that FC Dallas is the foundation for what's going into the classic rail district for Frisco.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we're going to tie this all together. When you look at those photos and videos of 2002, and literally, there's nothing there, and then we're finished in 2005, and there's still not a lot there. The rail district's cool. What you guys are doing is going to be epic over there. I keep watching Earth being moved. It's going to be. I'm happy for a lot of different reasons. I'll just be able to walk from the stadium over there and hopefully celebrate a bunch of FCD wins.
Let's go.
And if there's a loss, drown my sorrows there. So, you guys couldn't be in a better place, but also they're developing most of downtown in Frisco. I think this will be great energy for Frisco Square too. And so it's going to be a sports entertainment district, maybe done a little bit differently because you guys are doing what you're doing, plus the rail district already. There's things, there are parts and pieces that are being built, and we're going to spend $1 billion on our real estate development around. And so a lot of things are going to all tie together, make it really, really special. And again, Frisco's got public-private partnerships in these entertainment districts around sports teams or around the PGA.
Yeah, it's incredibly exciting, and we're looking forward to the march to the match. I mean, we can start at Rollertown and walk over. When you get that hotel cooking, that'll be great. We can just stay at that hotel, get a little Rollertown, a little FC Dallas, and in addition to the soccer, I would imagine since it's going to be such an exquisite stadium, I'm sure you'll continue to have really cool concerts and even cooler, bigger concerts, right?
Yeah, so the concert business is a tough business, and we've had a lot of great shows, but they're wonderful venues throughout the Metroplex. This is going to allow us to go back and chase those top events again. We're going to be able to go out and bring more of the national teams, more U.S. women's national team, more men's. Go get shows, although our stage setting will change. Obviously, we're going to be putting seating in the north end, but we're going to be able to do that. And, with the luxury suites and club seats, it just for the revenue for the artists, that's really where the catch up is going to be because, the artists take, 150% of your ticket revenue. it's a great model. I wish I had some kind of musical ability, but my parents let me down on that. But we're going to be able to have great shows there, other events. I'd love to add a college kickoff football game. I think that would be so cool. You know, we got the 2 games now, which is the Scooters Frisco Bowl and then the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl, and then the FCS National Championship game. So I hope we can add another 10 major events a year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just heard you promise us a Taylor Swift show, but we'll get to that in a second. You brought up the soccer, and it's getting down right now to it's tight right now with you guys, Dan. Tough loss the other night, and there's not much time left, but there is still hope that you guys can make the playoffs.
Yeah, we're still got a chance. We're going to have to maximize the home games. The big one Saturday night against LAFC, 7:30 kickoff. We have to have 3 points. Last night, that loss really hurt. And I felt like we created so many chances, but we got to not give up goals, which is a little frustrating because over the last couple of years, our defense has been exceptional. So we got to fix that. Got to stay alive. This has been a tough year, to be honest. I thought, something very different. But the injury bug has really hurt us. With more than 50% of our payroll not available this year on aggregate, that's just really, really tough. But look, Jesus scored last night. Happy for him. Alan Velasco scored last night. Happy for him.
And we're happy for you guys. We're hoping that you guys can fight, scrap, and claw here at the end of the season and finish strong. But man, can't thank you enough for coming on with us, talking to us about this. We're so excited about what you've been doing for Frisco for a long, long time. And I would imagine you could have picked up and left if you wanted to. I'm sure there's a lot of cities that would have loved to have had FC Dallas, but you're like, no, we're a part of Frisco. So you made this deal, and we're super excited about what you are bringing to the community. Let's start thinking of some FC Dallas themed beers. All right. Let's start thinking of some beer names. Let's start thinking of some concepts. Let's get some custom FC Dallas beers cooking.
Yeah, because what you're doing goes really there. I think it's going to be a lot of people love hanging out there drinking. You guys have great beer. I love it too much is the problem. And I'm excited that we're going to.
Oh no! Did he just completely drop out?
We lost him, but hey, it was great to talk to Dan. But these are some of the challenges with trying to do it live on the fly. And
Jason, can you tell us what's happening as it's happening?
Yeah, he's having some bandwidth problems, I do believe. He's back.
Oh, he's back. He's back. There he is.
Hey, sorry about that, Dan. We were having some bandwidth problems. We were getting Dan Hunt robot voice there for a little bit.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back. Can you hear us?
Oh, there you are. Sorry.
That's okay. But before we let you go, though, we got to ask you about three-peat stuff. I mean, it's funny going into the year, you start looking at odds and all these different kinds of things. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute. So the Chiefs are the favorites, and they're the favorites to do something that has literally never been done in NFL history, which is a three-peat. That hadn't been done. Are you guys feeling that pressure?
Yeah, I mean, you always feel the pressure, but pressure is a privilege, and that's a really great place to be. And we've got a little bit of the injury bug in Kansas City, I will say, so that's a bit of a challenge. But with 2 wins in our first 2 games, and maybe not playing our best against, I think, 2 very good football teams, and 2 of the best quarterbacks outside of Patrick Mahomes in the NFL. I mean, Joe Burrow is very talented. Lamar Jackson's very talented. I mean, Andy Reid and those guys there, Pat. I mean, Travis. I go on and on and on. They got it going on. So, look, I'd rather have the pressure than not, because that means you're doing something great.
Hey, man, congratulations on everything. We're so excited about what you're doing in Frisco and appreciate you taking the time to jump on with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Be well.
All right, talk to you soon. There he goes, in real time, Dan Hunt on the Super Soaker. Dude, Ben, I got an update for you.
Okay.
I don't know if you're paying attention to the comments over there.
Yes.
10:25 a.m. Howdy, Benifer and Skinnifer, Sean Dodge.
Sean Dodge, our old producer from 103.3 ESPN. Great dude.
Man, so I'm going to get into this New York story, and I sent this to you and Christina and KT yesterday, but I was in the airport getting ready to fly back. I'm at the Newark airport, and a sweet lady named Debbie walks up to me and says, "So you're turning your back on the listeners again today?" And it was a Ben and Skin listener. She said she listened a little bit in the Sean Dodge days on ESPN, but then started listening to us full time when we went to the Eagle, because she was a big Russ Martin fan and started hearing us there. And so now is as good a time as any to remind everybody you can hear the Ben and Skin show with KT and Christina every day from 3 to 6 on 97.1 The Eagle. So I thought that was real cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Did you creep that lady out a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I do. Before I get into a fight I got into, I wanted to say something about the video that TC made and Steve Nash. It is so amazing to me. First of all, that guy, you and I are in our early 50s. We're 53. Doesn't it feel like Steve Nash is a full decade younger than us?
Yeah, he's timeless. Like, I think the things about Steve Nash, first of all, I think he's like 0% body fat. He looks like a fashion model. He could not be nicer, cooler, or funnier, or more down to earth. And somehow he just doesn't age. And people don't realize, because he looks so small next to Dirk and NBA players, I think he's 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, he's 6'3".
Big.
Yeah. And he still looks great. But the whole, because I don't know if people remember how his career ended. Like, there was this whole thing where in LA it's going to be, Nash and Dwight Howard and all of that. And then his back just simply didn't hold up, right? We remember even in Dallas how he would have to lay down and do those stretches during, times where he would go to the bench and all that. But it makes me really happy that he can still be as active as he can be. And he looks really good in these tennis events. Like, we're not, blowing smoke or hyping him up or whatever. But like, when you play a professional sport and then it ends because of injuries, there's always that thought. Like, we've seen a lot of NBA dudes limp around. We've seen a lot of NFL guys, my God, where they look like their bones have fused together and they can barely walk. And so for Nash to be able to still be out there and do that, there's that clip where he's playing competitively and he's chasing down that little drop shot, and TC put it in there and he's running. And I remember I turned to you when that happened, and I was legitimately worried that a guy that age building up that speed, like, you just fall and tumble, right? And it didn't happen. And it's just amazing to me that he could do everything he's done in his 20s and 30s. And then it's like, I think I'm just going to get great at tennis now. And he does that. And it's just, I love the access to those guys, but I feel really fortunate that we're able to be around Steve Nash, because he is a really amazing dude.
Yeah, and in these tennis events, they have JJ, who grew up playing tennis, as you mentioned. We have Klay Thompson, who's kind of trying tennis, who doesn't really know a lot about tennis, and Dirk, who loves tennis and does. It's so cool that Dirk still plays, because his ankle is in bad shape, and he fights through the pain because he just loves it so much and he wants to help the community. So, and so there's basketball players playing and goofing off together and having fun. But then they'll stick Nash in with like Mark Knowles or these, former like legit ranked tennis players, and he holds his own. Like, he's not just out there with the basketball guys. He can get out there with the real tennis players and hold his own, and it's incredibly impressive.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I was in the middle of a New York street cussing at a taxi cab driver about 36 hours ago. Now, I went to Jersey City, where they were having the league broadcast meetings, which is, it's a really cool thing. They it's mostly, honestly, it's mostly under wraps or confidential. Like, they don't want you filming and posting stuff. And it's just best practices for the league and innovations. And there are some really cool things. And one of the things, I don't feel like I'm violating any trust, because we've talked about that, but you've had some great experiences at Cosm. Cosm was actually talked about at these meetings, Even though there's currently just 2. There's the one in LA, there's one in Dallas. I believe one in Atlanta is next, but I could be wrong about that. But I was really, when we first, you've been to Cosm at least twice now. And when we first went and they were flashing games up there, I could not help but think about how special NBA road playoff games would be at Cosm.
Oh my God. Yeah. And, I have, so first of all, the price of Cosm comes up and people are like, oh my God, why would I spend that much to go to a sports bar? No. You compare it to going to the event itself. That's how realistic it is. That's how amazing it is when you're there. And so I just went to that Cowboys Saints game and dropped like $800+ and it was a terrible experience in every single way, from the drive, the traffic, the expense of the parking credential, sitting down in a cramped, tiny seat and having a dude with a whistle blowing a whistle in my ear the whole time, watching the Cowboys get their ass kicked, crappy food that's way too expensive, then funneling out in all the traffic, stuck in traffic, walking, and then traffic to get back home. It was, I got there late in midway through the first quarter, left, midway through the fourth quarter. It was a terrible experience. And, when I was shooting video of being at Cosm, I had people go, hey, I thought you were in Michigan, because it was the Michigan-Texas game in Michigan. They go, what? How are you back already? I'm like, you thought I was in Michigan? They go, yeah, I saw you posting at the game. Man, I'll take Cosm over going to an event forever. I'll sign a lifetime deal right now. I'm in. That place is world-changing.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And I mean, I think it's cool that it's actually, being discussed at these NBA broadcast meetings, for example. By the way, feel free to interact over there in the comment section at 10:32. Martin said penis. But anyway, so back to, the league meetings and all that. So when I found out I was going to this, there's a band that I really like called Bad Bad Not Good. And they're a Canadian jazz group, and they've worked on some really big stuff. I think if people know them, they know them from the stuff they've done with Future Islands. There was a song, Time Moves Slow, which was used in Barry, which I don't know, it has like 300 million streams or whatever. But they're dope. I mean, I love their stuff. They've when we did the Truth to Power project, they agreed to remix a Black Puma song. And that's how I had met them. I blindly reached out to their manager. And as it turns out, he's a huge basketball fan and a huge Texas rap fan. Like, he's DJ'd for Bun B before. So you can imagine we hit it off, basketball and Texas rap. And we've been friends now for 4 years without having actually been in the same room together. And so I saw that they were going to be at this legendary place called Blue Note Cafe. And I looked it up, and it was only like 17 minutes from my hotel. And I was like, oh, shit, that is doable. So I reached out and was like, hey, I see that this thing is sold out. Is there any way to get in? He was like, no problem. Come out. And so I, pleaded and begged Harp to come. And, Harp's like, when I told him they got started at 10:30, he was like, hell no, I'm not going out at 10:30. But so I went just on a solo mission. And so Monday night I went out, saw the show. It was incredible. I had so much fun, and I Ubered. All right. So I Ubered there and I Ubered back, and it was, it wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $30-something both ways or whatever.
Didn't you say your Uber driver farted?
Yeah. So trying to think. Oh yeah. That was the Uber driver taking me on the first night to Bad Bad Not Good. He clearly farted. Okay. I didn't hear it. I smelled it.
Okay, I've been in those scenarios where there's just two people and you smell a fart, and it's obvious if you didn't fart who it is. So go ahead.
No, but like what? I didn't acknowledge you. I didn't say, hey, what's up with the ass smell, dude? And by the way, flying back on the plane yesterday, the guy next to me did not smell good. I don't think his hygiene is good. And I'm talking about his below the waist hygiene.
What do you mean? You smelled poop?
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I felt like I just smelt uncleanliness.
What do you mean? Crotch rot?
No, butt rot.
Like a dirty diaper?
Yeah. But not like, it wasn't like, it was, I don't know, it was almost like remnants of poo smell. I don't know. It was horrible. It was a bad experience. So anyways, I had some bad nose experiences on the New York trip. But so the night before, I'd had 2 Uber rides And so I kind of had a feeling, I knew what was up here. And then we're sitting there after the meetings on Tuesday. You're in meetings all day. And then it's like they have a reception, and I went to the reception and it was fine. And I'm looking and I'm going, so Bad, Not Good is sold out all week. Like they're doing 2 shows a night at the Blue Note for 4 nights.
Oh,
yeah. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, God, man, I could go again. So I texted Matt and I was like, dude, what are the chances I could get in tonight? He's like, no problem. Come back. So I went and saw him again, same spot, same time, second night. And the show was badass, and they brought up some special guests. And so the show was different from the night before. Amazing experience. And, he put me at tables with good, fun people. So even though I was by myself, I was involved in conversations, and it was lively, like amazing, 5 stars, et cetera, et cetera. For someone like me, couldn't have been better. So the show's over, and I go out, and I'm thinking, I got to get an Uber. And there's like 6 cabs out there. And so there's one in the prime position. By the way, when's the last time you took a cab? Are you always Uber, or are you cool getting in cabs?
Well, Kat and I went to New York last year, and I think we did kind of a mix of cabs and Ubers, and I definitely prefer Uber.
Yeah, I prefer Uber too. I had a really horrible experience in a cab one time, because what happens with cabs is Uber has made it so difficult on them that they are feeling the pressure. They speed race everywhere. They're aggressive. It's just like they're feeling the pressure and the crunch of all these rideshare services and ride services and whatnot. So I walk out there, and the dude kind of looks, he's just kind of got like an Eastern European kind of look, and he's got an accent, but I can't really decipher what part of the world. It doesn't sound like he's from the Bronx or Brooklyn originally, right? But he seems very nice. And he goes, where are you going? And I give him the address, and I feel like he says, all right, that'll be $18. And so I'm thinking, okay, it's a little bit less than the Uber ride, but I get it. Taxi cabs are having to lower their fare in order to get these rides. And I go, okay, great. I go, and keep in mind, dude, there's taxi cabs everywhere, and people are not getting in them. Mm-hmm. And because I'm friends with the manager, I stuck around and talked to him. So I'm one of the last people leaving the venue. Like, people are gone. Okay. And so I look, and about 3 doors down, there's a pizza spot. And you know the deal in New York, you can get a slice like every 10 feet. I'm like, I need 1 slice. I go, dude, I'm going to go grab 1 slice. If you have to go, I understand. If not, I'll be back in 5 minutes. He goes, no problem. Because he knew nobody else was coming. Go eat a slice. I'm back in 5 minutes. He's waiting for me, motions me over. We get in the cab, and I get on my phone, and I'm just sitting there. And then I look up at the screen, and it says $82. And I go, and I've been drinking. And so we are at this point, we're about 3 blocks. We've driven about 3 blocks. Okay. So we're on, it's near Washington Square. It's near all that. It's like, lower part of Midtown. It's a busy area, man. There's streets and all this crap, like confined streets and traffic and all that. And I go, I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was something to the effect of, whoa, what the fuck is that? And he's like, what? I go, $82. I'm not paying fucking $82. What the fuck are you doing? And he's like, fuck you, motherfucker. And like looking through the little thing, I go, no, fuck you. I'm out.
Wait, hold on a second. Time out. Is it, you say this is a European guy? Is this like one of the guys Liam Neeson would fight if they kidnapped his daughter? Does he sound like that?
Okay, so as you know, I have never seen any of those movies other than the part where he goes, I have a particular set of skills.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
I do think it's like Bond villains kind of, like that, yes, right?
Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so we're at a stoplight. And so I just open the door and I get out. I go, I'm not fucking paying this. And he gets out of the car and he bows up. He goes, fuck you, motherfucker. And I go, fuck you. Fucking jack the price up on me, you son of a bitch.
All right, hold on a second. What give us, as you guys are squaring off in the ring and they're listing, the height and weight and age and reach and all those things. Physically, what type of a human is this?
Okay, similar age, about 3 times my size. Like he would mop the street with me. Like he would destroy me. But as Nas would say, I'm in a New York state of mind. So I'm a blowfish right now. Like I'm like, fuck you, I fight, bitch. It's like that kind of shit. And so I do feel bad. So I'm like, and I don't have cash. Okay. I have 5 ones and those same $2 bills that I showed you when we were on the air.
Yeah.
And I think I don't have my money clip. I think I'm going to have those $2 bills on me forever. I can't part with them.
So you have not reached your destination, but now you're out of the cab fighting, yelling at each other?
Yeah, in the street, like pointing and fighting, And so I'm like, I go, fuck it. And so I open my money clip and I hand him 5 ones because he goes, I lost my spot. And I go, fucking your spot. There's 7 cabs over there. There's no spot. This isn't the airport. Fuck you. And so I hand him 5 ones. I go, here, fucking take this. And I turn around and walk up. He's like, fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you. And I'm going, fuck you, you son of a bitch. Fuck you, as we walk away from one another. And then I turn and hail down another cab. So the guy pulls up, another cab pulls up, and I go, how much to the Westin in Jersey City? And he doesn't know. He's like, I need an address. So I give him the address. So he's looking it up. And then I pull up an Uber ride. Okay. And I click on it. And the Uber ride said it was going to charge me $90. I totally fucked that guy over. And I'm pretty sure that he said $80 and I heard 18 because of his thick accent. So not only am I in the wrong, and I think I fucked him over, then I cussed him out. We yelled at each other, and I gave him $5. I felt really, really bad.
Why are you wound so tight, man? Why are you so in such a New York state of mind? Why are you ready to fight?
I'd been listening to Wu-Tang. No, I mean, I was in an incredible mood, but dude, if you hear something and then see something and it costs 4 times that, your first thought is, it's a New York scam.
Yeah.
I'm not okay, New York motherfucker. Fuck you. You just go into that position and that mindset, like and so I was sitting there going, oh shit, I think I just effed that guy over. And at that point, he's driven off.
So you got to go find him.
No. And so the guy goes, can you pay me cash?
Oh.
And I didn't have cash. And I go, well, how much if it's cash? He goes, $60. And now I realize an Uber's $90. I paid that other guy $5 after I ripped him off and I was in the wrong. And so I go, can you take me to an ATM? Like, can we stop at a Chase along the way? He goes, yeah, sure. So we're driving down the street and then he stops, sees a Chase. I go in, get cash, and then I end up paying him $60.
Oh,
so
man.
I just ruined the guy probably about a good half hour of his life. Keep in mind, he waited 5 minutes on me to eat a slice of pizza. And it all happened because I heard him say 18.
I think if I was him, I would have killed you. I think it'd be worth it to do the prison time just with the satisfaction of knowing that I ended your life and I was in the right.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because in life there's wins and there's losses. I feel like this is a tie. I really do, because
for who?
Well,
it's a loss for you.
I don't think it is, because I feel bad, but I got home safely.
Oh my God.
And really, I saved $15.
I want KT's insight on this. I think KT is going to enjoy this. I think we should let KT. Let's talk about this today on our radio show and let KT decide who the winner is.
I don't think I can talk about this on radio because of contractual obligations I have.
Oh
By the
my
way,
God,
dude, the other day when you were telling the story of going to the Cowboy game, I mean, I thought back to that and chuckled so many times. I mean, that is the modern NFL experience, I think. And I think you can expect at most places, I think you can expect for the fan, except for Green Bay and Pittsburgh, because no one's traveling to those cities. I think you can expect like a huge traveling contingency, like Rams or Dolphins or whatever, because people want to travel to go see their teams. And then if you're the home team, we hadn't experienced that in a long time because the Cowboys, they have a 16-game win streak at home or some shit. I think what you experienced is probably more common than not for NFL fans now.
My wife and I were like, how do people afford to go to games? I don't get it, because even in my section, which that was the best deal I had, tickets were going on SeatGeek for $850, $900. I got them for $250. And the place is packed, obviously. And so I don't know how all these people can afford to go to Cowboy games. And, you know, it's kind of like you see Escalades driving around. You're like, how can people afford $125,000 vehicles? Like, why does everybody else have money? Like, how do they have this type of disposable income? I honestly, dude, I mean, I wanted to go just to spend time with my son and celebrate him and have a great time with him and buy a memory, basically. But I don't think I'll ever go back. Like, I will never go back to a Cowboy game ever, ever, ever again.
Yeah, it's I would have to be on somebody else's dime in a suite. And one time Ben and I got to go with our friend Bennett Glazier, and he had the event level parking where you pull into the stadium. And, you know, they send drug dogs around you and guys have AR-15s. Apparently it's like flying out of an airport in Israel. I don't know. But the result was that it was the most incredible pampered treatment we've ever had. And it was that Atlanta Falcons game where the Cowboys beat them by 1,000 and we had 50-yard line seats. I got to go to like hey, want to walk 10 feet to the prime rib buffet? And now like, it's like, okay, I'll go do that again. Mm-hmm. That sounds awesome. But I mean, just the average NFL fan experience at the game, dude, is not, it ain't it.
I think the worst part, look, there's Strip Mall Steve. He says, damn it, I'm late. Can we start the show over? I think
by the way, if sorry, Ben, but if everyone doesn't know, our incredible intro song is Strip Mall Steve doing his thing.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
So of all the terrible parts of going to that Cowboy game, the worst part is not the guy with the whistle right behind me. The worst part was the last 1/8 of a mile or half mile to get from the old Ranger Stadium to AT&T.
Right.
It was so stressful and it took so long, and it just, I mean, I had to start listening to the game on the radio. That was brutal. Like going to that game and everything we endured was a punishment. It was like a bet payoff or something torturous that an enemy had out for me, and they wanted me to go through that. I mean, it sucked at levels I can't even comprehend. It sucked, and it was so unbelievably expensive. I don't know how or why people do it.
No, but we do really have to talk Cowboys. When I landed yesterday, and I got in the car, and you and KT were talking Cowboys, and one of the things that he was hitting on, I had just read about, and that is the similarities between Harbaugh and Mike McCarthy. I don't know if you've seen these numbers. I want to read this to you. This is insane because I just read this, and then KT was talking about something similar. All right, here's Harbaugh's numbers because he's been in Baltimore forever. I think it's like 17 seasons. Did you realize he had been there for 17 seasons?
God, that's brutal.
That's brutal. It's an eternity. But listen to this record. He has a 61% win percentage. All right. He's won 5 division titles. He's 12-10 in the playoffs, and he has a Super Bowl victory. He's 61 years old. McCarthy in his career is 60 years old with a 62% win percentage. He's basically 0.6 higher than McCarthy. That's it. In 17 seasons, he has won 8 division titles, an 11-11 postseason record, and 1 Super Bowl. Basically, identical coaching records. And I know that KT was telling you about how everyone in Baltimore is like, fire Harbaugh, and they're shitting all over Harbaugh. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to you guys. And, we've done, been on the air for the entire Garrett regime. We were on the air for the Parcells regime. And then we've been on the air, during this McCarthy stuff. And I said this last year when Dak got hurt and they plowed through. I was trying to give McCarthy tons of credit. But then at the very end, the season ends because, or the season before, it ends because of just stupidity. The clock runs out, it's just terrible. And then 1 year later, they get completely destroyed in a playoff game with a young quarterback at the helm on the other team. And so you kind of get in this thing of like, why are they not more prepared? What is wrong with this? I blame it on McCarthy. And I don't know that you're ready for me to say this about McCarthy, because you've heard me trash him so much. But in hearing you and KT talk yesterday, and then waking up this morning, I read a really good Saad Youssef article about the front office. We've talked about it all off season, right? You guys didn't make the team better. You added this one linebacker. How is the team better, right? We've had all this conversation about this. I think that's all fair. And I think I'm sitting here going, man, McCarthy's had 12 win seasons back to back. I think he's a great coach with only one flaw. Like, I think if you look at this team, and when we talk about they're about to play a football season without a run game at all. None. NFL's changed, right? We've de-emphasized it, but KT and you were talking, and he was talking about how the safety play has changed to prevent long passes. Well, what that means is that, okay, there's a trade-off. Teams should be able to exploit the run game unless you don't have one. Like, McCarthy is coaching a team that doesn't have a run game, can't stop the run, and then really didn't add anything to make their team better. I think I'm going about this all wrong. I think that McCarthy's doing an amazing job with a team that is just, they've got talent, they're good, but they don't have a chance to be great because they haven't. It's a front office issue. We've talked about it a million times, and the front office did nothing to make the team better. And it's a team that last year didn't have any playoff success. So I just think McCarthy's just doing the best he can with an effed up situation. And he got 1 year left on his deal. And I think he probably will get another NFL job if the Cowboys don't bring him back, if this thing ends up just being another 10 or 11 win season with no playoff success.
Yeah, he's not done coaching no matter what. There's no question somebody would hire him. The regular season success is there. I don't know how they get to the postseason when they do and fold like they do. Like, the Green Bay loss is such a head scratcher. It's like, I don't understand. We just dominated the whole season, then got our asses kicked. And by the way, on that 2 safety thing, I loved that conversation on the show too. Mel Kiper today is saying that the NFL should ban it, like Major League Baseball banning the shift.
Oh my God, what the hell? He's lost his mind.
He's like, it's not fun anymore. Everyone on the set was laughing, but he's like, you've taken the big plays out of the game, and just like the shift in baseball, let's make it where you can't have 2 deep safeties.
That's insane.
But the NFL is by far the best product, and this is exactly why. I don't know what to expect when the Cowboys play the Ravens.
Yeah.
Cowboys could dominate. Cowboys could get dominated. It could be a super close game. If the Cowboys win, the Ravens may fire their coach. They may, hit rock bottom early in the season, or they may go to the AFC Championship. Like, there's such wild bipolar roller coaster swings with this product, and you just don't know. Like, after week 1, I thought, holy shit, they were right. They didn't need to do anything this offseason. They're good. Yeah. Look at this. Golly, they're on their way. And then after the Saints game, I'm like, holy shit, was it the right thing to sign Dak? Should they blow it up? Should they start over? Those wild swings of emotion are where the gold is for the league, and They got to be so happy about that there's so much talk either way. And I will fall for it again. If the Cowboys beat the Ravens, I will be like, okay, that loss to the Saints was an aberration. This is who they are. They just handled up on a great Ravens team. And then somebody will go, no, the Ravens suck. They're 0-3. You're like, oh, shit, really? Because the Saints were supposed to suck. They were supposed to be a bottom third team, and they rolled the Godly, man. It is a fascinating array of emotions, which is why it's so awesome.
Yeah, no, you're right. And think about this. Who are the really great teams in the NFL? I mean, San Francisco's got its problems right now. I thought San Francisco was far and away the best team. They've looked rocky. Philly's looked rocky. We're talking NFC stuff here now, right? And then even over in the AFC, I mean, Kansas, we're talking to Dan Hunt like 25 minutes ago. Kansas City's barely winning these games as they try to do something historic. And they had a lot of problems in the regular season last year. And so much of this is, all right, what is your health going to be at the end of the year and how well are you playing? And you really do end up, by the time we get to Thanksgiving, you end up forgetting about week 2. It doesn't matter. It has no bearing. There's so many changes that happen over 2 months because of the nature of injuries and the nature of getting better. But one thing that we are, I think, 100% certain of in a league that is changing, and that change will allow for a better offensive run game. The Cowboys have no run game. Their best running back is far and away Rico Dowdle. What about, dude, they got like 15 or 16 plays in the game last week before Zeke saw the field. That was your week 1 starting running back. And I do think Dowdle looks better than anybody by far, but that's not a significant running game. You'd have to have the greatest offensive line ever to have productivity with your running game. So as the league shifts, the Cowboys are ill prepared for that. And then on the other side, they can't stop the run. They couldn't stop the run last year. Hopefully Zimmer, those promises he made come to fruition. But what talent upgrade was there to, like, is it really just scheme? I don't think so. People are going to be able to run on the Cowboys all year long. And so they're just standing there holding the bag. And because they have Dak and because they have CD and because they have Parsons and even like Brandon Cooks, they do have some dynamic guys. They'll be in the mix. And McCarthy will figure out ways to keep them in the mix. But even if you end up with a 10 or 11 win team, everything we've seen in the playoffs for the last several years is an indication that it ain't going to end the way that we want it to end. I mean, it would have to be Dak being Joe Montana for them to go on a deep run.
Man, and he hasn't looked very good in the first 2 games. I was telling you, me and my son were wondering if he was injured and battling through an injury that it's just not there. And I don't know if it's because they only have one weapon. I mean, CD is the only weapon you have to respect on the Cowboys. There's nobody else you really have to worry about. And if you don't have a running game, play action is not going to work. I mean, why would anybody ever worry about that? If you're going to play the Cowboys, all you got to do is beat CD or stop CD. Mm-hmm. And Dak is not locked in with CD in any way that makes that a dangerous threat. And then on the defensive side, missing on Mozzie Smith is everything. You can't try to address something with a first-round pick and swing and miss that badly.
Yeah.
They just haven't addressed their interior of their defensive line. You saw what they did with their offensive line. They got to do that with the defensive line as well. And for the most part, I like Will McClay and I like the way they draft, but there's just so much pressure on them to never miss. But again, who are the teams that are absolutely elite? It's like everybody has this grocery list of their own problems that they're fighting through, and you're focused on your team's problems. And, over the course of the season, if they can right the ship in some of these ways, like you said, we may look back and not even worry about that week 2 loss to the Saints. But right now I'm teetering on that the Super Bowl parade versus holy shit, we're getting a top 10 pick.
Right. Yeah, there's just nothing here historically to give you the confidence that it can turn around, but the nature of the NFL indicates that it can. And so, I tear McCarthy apart probably too much. Like, I don't give him the credit he deserves. That record is a great record. He does have a Super Bowl win, but he had a quarterback in his prime when but my whole point is that I'm just looking at it going, I shouldn't be that hard on McCarthy. So whatever.
You're hard for McCarthy.
I'm hard on.
Now you're hard for him.
Hard on Gore.
I've noticed that the viewership in this has gone up as we've kept going. So thank you guys for tuning in and checking out the Super Soaker. We do it every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 10 a.m. And we've talked about this. The algorithms suck. It makes it hard for us to promote things because if we promote this on Twitter, Elon doesn't want us sending you to a link to YouTube, and so they kind of bury it on the algorithm. So all the support helps, the likes, the comments, the shares, tuning in. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Elon wants us to say hateful things on the internet. That's all he really wants from us. Okay, Ben, we're getting near the 11 o'clock hour. We have another topic that you brought up that I love. We could save it for Tuesday or we could get into it here. I'll let you make the decision on that. But before we do, someone asked about this hat and said, is it tied to a charity? And we should say that it is because Rollertown is partnering with the National Breast Cancer Foundation this weekend for a great event Saturday at the brewery. You and I are both going to be there. And these we have new merch, and some of the money goes to the National Breast Cancer Foundation. But that's what the pink Rollertown hat is all about. Those are really great people over there. The city of Frisco hooked us up with them. Your brother and our fearless leader, Jonathan, got to know them, immediately fell in love with them. And now you and I are connected with them, and we fell in love with them. And we certainly feel like it's a great cause.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Saturday is going to be a special day at Rollertown in Salina. And, the other day I was getting my hair cut, and the lady who cuts my hair, her name's Kayla. I didn't know that she had battled breast cancer. And we were talking about the National Breast Cancer Foundation being in Frisco, and she got kind of emotional, and she was like, I wish somebody had reached out to me. And because of HIPAA laws and whatnot, the National Breast Cancer Foundation doesn't know who is fighting breast cancer.
Right.
Somebody has to go to them. And I don't know if it's the same for you fighting cancer, but my understanding is with breast cancer, there's coordinators. Was there something like that to help?
I did have through our insurance on iHeart, there was a quote unquote cancer coordinator, but I actually never communicated with them. I got super lucky. My sister, and her middle child's had a lot of health issues. And so she's been in the system, and she's hyper learned. And so, and does tons of research. So she was my healthcare coordinator. I'm just lucky that I have an older sister that's a total badass. What you're talking about, people that go through this absolutely need that.
Yeah, and she was hurt about it, and understandably, because she didn't have anybody and didn't have any help. And so I think one of the best things we can do for the National Breast Cancer Foundation, which is in Frisco, Texas, is just raise awareness. And if you know somebody who's fighting breast cancer, man, get them in touch with that foundation immediately, because there's so many things they can do. Like we're going to be on Saturday, we're going to be putting together these kits together that go out to people. When they find out somebody has breast cancer, they send them this care kit. It's this package of things to help them in their fight and in their battle. And that in itself is going to be really cool and powerful to be a part of assembling those things and knowing that you're making a difference and helping people. But then on top of that, we have a collab beer. Is it a hibiscus IPA?
Yes. And it is, they are carving it today, and we will have it in time. We'll find out later today from Crystal if it'll be on tap for Friday night. It'll for sure be on tap for Saturday. But yeah, it's a hibiscus IPA that Tommy has put together, and we are I can't wait to taste it because Tommy never misses. And so we do have percentage of the sales at the tap room will go to the National Breast Cancer Foundation. Like we said, the merch, there's also a really cool blue hat with like pink stitching on it I had one of those and my wife took it from me. So I'm going to have to buy another one on Saturday when I get there. And then they're going to be joining us there. The folks at the NBCF will be joining us there. So it'll be a great event, and a lot of the money goes to the right place. And I think it's probably just the beginning of us partnering with them because they're really, really good people.
Yeah, super proud to partner with them. And so I know we're going early to assemble these kits and whatnot. What time should people arrive?
Okay, so doors open, I believe, at noon. What you need to do, we'll get that confirmed, and then we will make sure we say it today on the Ben and Skin Show on 97.1 The Eagle. We'll blast it out on all the social media channels, but I will confirm that I'm sorry, I'm distracted by Justin Johnson. Sir, we are not going to soak one another. We are here to soak you.
Yeah, for you to get soaked.
You're going to get soaked.
That's all we do. And yes, the hibiscus beer will be for sale in cans, right?
Yes. Not out in the stores for distribution, although there may be one or two locations. I was looking down. We have this little information area on an app, and I couldn't find it in real time, but we'll give you those details in the next 2 days. We'll blast them out on social media. We'll talk about it on the Ben and Skin show. But yeah, there for sure will be cans to go from the brewery. We'll find out if there's any additional locations and get that information to you.
Awesome. Now I want to table this other topic because I think it's a good one. I think we can get to it in Thursday's Super Soaker at 10 a.m. But I want to end by saying this. I'd mentioned this with how tough the algorithms make it for us to let you guys know. There's people out there who have been riding with us for many years, and we just need to let them know we're here on YouTube. And so we're trying to get the word out. And in this new day and age of media consumption and creation, it's this battle between, okay, how do we get more people to the party? Are they going to pay a subscription fee? Is there going to be advertising? Are there going to be enough people there for the advertising, which means you don't have to pay a subscription fee? So we're trying to figure all that out and create content that we love creating. And I've been as excited about this as I have been about anything we've done in many, many years. Like, I am so fired up about what we're building here with our YouTube channel. And so we want you to partake in all of it. Listen to our radio show on the Eagle 3 to 6. We appreciate that. We want you to subscribe here and be a part of this. And one of the ways we're going to bypass those social media algorithms is we're going to connect with you directly to your email. And so, Jason, if you could post this link in the comments, it would be awesome. We created this thing called the Complete Fun Package. It's like a Ben and Skin loyalty program or a newsletter. It's a way for us to stay in contact with our most loyal supporters and kind of let you guys know what we've got percolating. And so we'll send you emails and we'll be like, hey, this week, Super Soakers at 10 a.m. This is what we're going to be talking about on them. We'll send you an email afterwards saying, hey, here's what we talked about on this stream on this day. You can skip forward to this point and we talk Cowboys or whatever you want to do. We'll have special merch offerings. And by you signing up for the Complete Fun Package, which is free, it only takes about a minute to do, maybe less, you will be entered to win cool prizes. Get-togethers with us. Meet and greets with athletes. In April, I think it was, we did a meet and greet with Luca, so you could win things like that. We're also going to give away a big screen TV. So we're trying to get as many people as we can to sign up for the Complete Fun Package so that we can connect and communicate with you guys.
It's all part of the Complete Fun Package we're throwing out here.
That's right, Dirk. It's a way for us to answer the question that I know I get more than any other, Ben. I'm sure you get it too. It's what you guys got cooking on your minds today. And so it's a way for us to put that directly into your inbox, insert it, just pound it over and over repetitively into your inbox.
Holy shit, Ben.
Yeah.
Jackhammer. Yeah.
Good. I do want to do that other topic we talked about. We'll do it next week because the Soaker is every Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. This is Thursday, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. How about that?
How's about that? Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m., get signed up for the Complete Fun Package. And then we have a lot of more outside the box special opportunities and cool video stuff that we're going to be doing over the coming months. Like that little TC video from Dirk's tennis event that we showed you at the beginning of the show. That's just kind of scratching the surface of some of the stuff we want to do out there in the world. So we're excited, man.
Yeah, we're excited. So if each person watching this will get out there and share it on social media, comment, hit the like button, we'd appreciate it. Love you guys.
Bye.
This has been another Iron Balls production.
Iron